These are the top 5 ways to educate your guests in Planet Zoo so that your inspection reports don't look like this. Number 1 is education boards. You need to make sure you're placing education boards in key viewing areas for both your habitats and your exhibits. These must be linked to your habitats to educate guests on the correct animals. Placing conservation boards around your zoo will also improve your guests' overall education. Number 2 is education speakers. These function very similarly to the education boards as they must be linked to the correct animals, but they have a range in which your guests can hear them. If you overlap the ranges of 2 education speakers, they'll interfere with one another and fail to educate your guests. Number 3 is vet research. When you research your animals, you don't just unlock new enrichment items and higher quality food for your animals, you also unlock better education, which is automatically added to your boards and speakers. Some of you may be wondering why educating your guests is important. Educating your guests will improve your inspection reports, which will bring more guests to your zoo, and better education also makes your guests more likely to donate money to your donation bins. Number 4 is guest talks. Educational speakers can be hired in the staff panel and need to be assigned to an education stand. Ensure that you monitor their time to give them space between talks to move around your zoo and to take breaks in the staff building. I'd recommend that you leave a month between each talk, so if you have a talk in January, don't schedule another talk until March. You can also add seating areas to these talks and connect them to your stands. Guests will sit in these seats for the guest talks, otherwise they will gather around your speaker to listen. Your speaker will also throw food into the habitats during their talks if you ensure that the ground next to the speaker is not obstructed. And number 5 is audio tours for your guests. These are sold in your information centres, so make sure you have at least one of these near the entrance of your zoo so your guests can be using them for as long as possible while they explore. If you found this helpful, make sure to check out the top 10 mistakes people make in Planet Zoo.